Hi, my name is Susan Rawlings, and I'm a director in the product management team in the EBS Applications Group. And today we're going to discuss how to use Oracle projects to control costs and schedules. During this session, I'll discuss why the need for project controls is important and how you can use EBS Oracle projects to help you control your projects. I'll introduce and describe the major features available in the Oracle Projects product family that can help you gain better insight to your projects and use them to control costs and schedules. I'll also present the newest features available in Release 12.1 and 12.2, as well as a few new and exciting features that we're working on. I'll also give an update about our continued investment in modernizing and improving the user experience in the application. Lastly, I'll show you how some of our customers are benefiting from their investment in Oracle projects. Because some of the new features I will describe in this presentation are still in the planning and design phase, the standard Oracle policy applies with regards to information we will share with you. Any discussion of target dates or actual features to be released is tentative and cannot be confirmed until a feature is actually released. In today's competitive and challenging business environment, many firms are finding it increasingly difficult to successfully execute and control projects. A high degree of variability in identifying and connecting the right resources, lack of insight to project performance, the inability to control project budgets and schedules, and lack of collaboration and alignment of plans to objectives can all lead to project failures. The statistics are sobering. 72% of major federal IT projects are on project management watch lists. An estimated $1 trillion is spent on underperforming projects in the U.S. and nearly $4 trillion worldwide. 70% of project managers say resourcing is increasingly difficult and less predictable. 85% of companies are unable to adjust and realign their budgets with their business needs. And 89% of companies are flying blind with no metrics in place except financial statements. Nearly every project is different in some way. This may be due to differences in locations, project deliverables, the resources required to complete deliverables are changing, or due to differences in contractual terms demanded by customers. These differences mean risk is inherent in every project and contributes to the uncertainty of meeting project schedules or budgets. These risks may be attributable to cost, schedule, procurement, or subcontractor performance, customers, and finally, the environment. By managing risks, we can do a much better job in managing the project. Controlling projects means controlling risk and ensuring more predictable outcomes. Adequate control requires tools that encompass the people, processes, and systems needed to plan, manage, and mitigate cost and schedule issues and address risk events that can impact a project. To control projects, you need to measure the performance of your project against the project's objectives and have quick, accurate, and efficient insight to identify and correct variances. These controls often need to expand beyond your organization and incorporate controls with suppliers or changes that can quickly derail your plans. In its essence, good project control should allow you to establish plans and measure how well the project team is doing against those plans. Plans should be comprehensive enough to incorporate project objectives for quality, cost, schedule, and risk. Then, as your project proceeds and you begin executing and monitoring your project, variations or deviations from the plans should be easy to find and investigate. The ability to use the right measures and metrics to proactively identify trends that pose a risk of deviation from your plan is essential. Information that tells you if the project is already off track are less valuable to you as a method of control. Your plans and forecasts should act as a roadmap that help you understand where you are compared with where you're supposed to be, what lies ahead that can affect your project, where you're going to end up compared with what you planned. In this next section, I'll describe in more details the features available to you in Oracle projects that are tools that you need to effectively manage all aspects of your projects. How can the Oracle Enterprise Project Portfolio Management solution help you mitigate these potential problems and improve your organization's ability to complete projects successfully? Well, Oracle EPPM gives you deep insight into the performance of each project, as well as key performance metrics that you can use to benchmark the projects in your portfolio. Encompassing the entire project lifecycle, EPPM is based upon out-of-the-box integration between billing and costing actuals, powerful planning tools, change management, project supply chain planning and execution, and supplier control tools. The entire suite leverages powerful Oracle technology that provides focused, role-based transactional business intelligence so you can quickly identify project risks and take swift corrective action. It's important that the project team has visibility to the project's objectives and makes the right decisions. Oracle Projects allows you to build the plans you need to achieve the project's objectives and deliverables. Project execution can be tracked against the plans, and deviations are made visible to the team in order to identify risks and take the right corrective action. For projects that rely on suppliers for materials, services, or completion of deliverables, Oracle Projects and its out-of-the-box integration with Oracle Procurement provides planning and execution tools that allow you to align your agreements with suppliers and to achieve the project objectives. Alignment with suppliers reduces mistakes, improves coordination, and reduces overall wastage in the project supply chain that can have a significant impact on your project cost and profitability, and which cost reduction methods alone cannot achieve. Because Oracle Projects spans the entire life cycle of the project and integrates with the eBusiness Suite, you have a comprehensive, single, integrated solution that spans all critical areas of your business that can affect your project and its successful completion. It's a valuable investment that can be hard to achieve with specialized or legacy systems that require integration and maintenance. The EPPM suite includes powerful project planning and control tools that are integrated to the best-in-class eBusiness Suite applications. By leveraging all of the transactional project information that's processed in EBS, the suite enhances the value of your investment and streamlines implementation. Built on the same core foundation of EBS, Oracle Projects brings your project plans and actuals together to give you a 360-degree view and quickly identify project performance risks and take the right actions to get or keep your projects on track. Built upon a solid and shared foundation, the EBS applications cover end-to-end processes and incorporate data hubs, a comprehensive and highly configurable security model, and feed state-of-the-art analytics apps that give you immediate access to your valuable data. The shared foundation of EBS allows you to use the transactional data from your daily business operations as the base source for your project performance data. This eliminates the need to move information from multiple external sources and improves the scalability and accuracy of your project performance measures. The Oracle Projects applications integrate all of this transactional information to help you measure project performance against your plans and identify problems or risks. Project cost, billings, and contracts are seamlessly integrated, so actual project transactions are collected and compared against your schedules, budgets, and forecasts. Visibility and control throughout the life cycle of the project is essential. The Oracle Project Management module acts as the hub of the project suite, allowing you to create and manage project plans, and then incorporates actual project transactions so you can identify and manage deviations. Project management allows project managers to plan the work and the timelines, resource the project, and then create financial plans. All team members, including internal and external to the enterprise, required to execute on the work by sharing documents, raising and resolving issues, and communicating progress. It also allows you to have control throughout the project by allowing both the project manager and the team members to raise changes, resolve them, and rely on accurate real-time performance metrics, drilling into costing and billing, and to communicate to all the stakeholders, both internal and external, what the results of the project are. You can plan your project work using the work breakdown structure tasks with as much or as little detail as needed. You create your work plan by entering tasks or copying them from the project template or by integrating with a scheduling tool. You assign resources to tasks to track effort, cost, and progress. Then you establish dependencies within or across projects and generate a critical path view with the integrated Gantt chart. You use Workplan versioning to capture and manage changes and compare your prior versions to identify trends such as schedule slippages. You can route your finalized work plan through business approval processes and then make it available to the team for planning work execution. You use deliverables to define actions and owners required to meet each deliverable and any associated documentation. You can use deliverables to support the completed project management flow, integrating into other business functions such as manufacturing, scheduling, shipping, supply chain planning, purchasing, and project billing. You can generate and create financial plans to manage cost, revenue, or both. You use versioning of financial plans to compare what-if scenarios, and then route plans for approval and baselining so you can track financial trends. You can plan in multiple currencies, define resource-specific spread methods for periodic planning, and generate financial plans from multiple sources, such as work plans or staffing plans. Project teams can use project management to track the completion of deliverables or progress, share project information, and raise and track project issues. Using a flexible progress reporting process, you enter and manage progress based on tasks, resources, or deliverables. Define and control how progress is entered by defining progress collection cycles and progress types, and enable decentralized progress collection for team members to enter progress against established plans and dates. The comprehensive change management process allows teams to raise issues, document collaborative decisions, and they can record things like the nature and impacts of the change, status, priority, due dates, reporting sources, attaching documents, and communicating the current status. Users can assign and track actions for each issue or convert issues to actual change requests or orders when project plans are affected or additional replanning is required. Project managers and controllers will have superior visibility and tools to manage project execution. Save time and effort by automatically rolling up individual progress results to overall project progress using various roll-up methods. Allow managers to fine-tune progress reporting by enabling progress overrides, and provide views of historical trends across progress cycles. You can gain greater insight into project trends using forecasts. Automatically generate forecasts by systematically mapping all your actual project billing and costing transactions to the planned resources based on various resource attributes, currency, and project period. Include your project changes and commitments automatically, and then baseline and compare variances between periodic forecasts. You can measure earned value by creating cost estimate to complete values based on multiple methods or sources, and then summarize ETCs for tasks and projects. Automatically adjust your plans by respreading remaining work or costs, and then adjust or replan by creating what-if versions for any project plan type. Rebaselining plans using the flexible approval process. Using all the information from your plans, plus any user-definable criteria that you set up, you can use the metrics you need to control your projects and measure performance to define performance reports. Calculate key metrics like earned value, BAC, EAC, and identify variances. You can also compare or benchmark to other projects or programs. Using project performance reporting, you define performance measures and exceptions by defining key performance areas and then associating scoring rules and using KPIs to drive the overall project status. You define, view, and investigate exceptions to performance and drill down into the details. You can review project performance via multiple reports, including graphs, drill down analysis, and on-page settings to define views and content. You can analyze by program, project, task, resource, currency, and period. You can report project and project functional currencies, and you can also review invoices, revenue earnings, and receivables. Our product strategy and roadmap are focused on developing project controls capabilities with a three-part approach. First, we want to help users ensure strategic alignment between the actions and decisions taken by the project team throughout the project lifecycle and the project client objectives. This includes planning, execution, monitoring, and reporting. Second, we want to provide tools that give the project team the ability to collaborate when planning to ensure the project plans reflect the best probability of success and can be used as the basis of adequately controlling the project. And third, we want to provide insight to the project team during execution so they can gain the necessary insight to make decisions quickly, easily identify risks or potential risks, and take quick corrective action to get or keep their projects on track. Our investment in Oracle projects is based on our three-part approach and includes enhancements in all key areas of the product, including forecasting, subcontractor and supplier management, change control, reporting and plan management, and other improvements. But we've not limited ourselves to enhancing only specific products or simply adding more features. We're taking a holistic view of how project managers, project teams, and suppliers work together to complete projects. Then we want to ensure that the right information, insight, and features are used to effectively manage and control projects. Some of the newer plan features include significant integration with other EBS modules. Our improvements in planned investments also include exciting new integrations with Oracle's new technology, Endeca, through core application extensions and a new addition to the projects family, Oracle Project Supply Chain. Many of the features are already available on 12.1 or the 12.2 releases, and some we are already working on and are planned for release soon. While some project-related applications continue to focus on execution and reporting results as a way of controlling projects, we believe that the biggest gains come from preventing problems and risks in the first place, ensuring that everybody on the team is on the same page, project managers, suppliers, controllers, and that they're delivering results, that they're aware of key project objectives, and that their actions and decisions are aligned to achieve those objectives is crucial to managing and controlling your projects successfully. Strategic alignment comes from everyone involved in a project knowing and understanding the key objectives of the project and the organization. The application can help support that by providing easily available measures that guide users when making decisions or initiating actions to complete deliverables. Knowing the effect of a decision or the action and what it has on the measures for the project helps them make the right choices. Giving users insight into the potential effects and applying criteria correlated to the objectives that can narrow down options or choices ensures better and more effective decisions. We're very excited to offer users a completely new user interface experience that can transform the way you access and use project information to track and manage your projects. Based on Endeca technology that is integrated with the e-business suite, you can use a powerful tool to explore your business information in a whole new way. Endeca provides the ability to search and filter both structured and unstructured data and represent the results in multiple formats. Tag clouds, charts, graphs, tables, and other performance metrics are all exposed on this new user interface. But the key differentiator is that you can also act on this information and make updates to plans or initiate new transactions. As with many applications in the e-business suite, we are now offering a new Endeca extension for project management. Leveraging the latest technology, the new Project Management Endeca extension allows you to identify risks earlier based on trends, exceptions, and new correlations between data that was previously unrelated. You can avoid delays, improve communication and collaboration between team members, and improve project profitability or success using role-based portals that allow users to perform complex searches, apply multiple filtering criteria, and quickly modify the way information is presented. Access to rich project information is right at your fingertips, and integrated Endeca-based portals can be used to investigate change documents, unplanned charges, or change orders that might be contributing to the variance or issue. Once a needed change or update is identified, you can quickly access the right plans, tasks, resource assignments, or other documents to update the information about the project. The extension provides project managers and teams with access to a project overview and search page that can correlate results across projects, and they can search for projects based on multiple criteria that are applied simultaneously. Similar to searches that you might perform in an online shopping experience, the criteria can help users very quickly isolate projects that meet the desired business criteria. From the project search and overview, then you can access project schedule information on the integrated Workplan overview page. You can access financial information from budgets and forecasts, as well as actual cost transactions, change documents, or other key information from the integrated financial overview page. These pages are seamlessly integrated to help you investigate plan deviations and then make the necessary updates to tasks, plans, or even to progress. The visibility to planned and actual results correlated to key measures of your objectives helps your users make the right choices when they need to initiate project updates. Another area that exposes projects to risks is the project's supply chain, since it involves third-party suppliers outside of the organizational control. Mathematical models actually will predict huge profitability growth with improved procurement processes. As little as a 5% reduction in spending can increase profitability by 50%. In order to obtain the equivalent impact, a firm would have to increase sales by 50% or cut overhead by 20%. Both involved a lot of work and effort. However, procurement has a major credibility problem because very few believe that the savings they claim are actually real or reach the bottom line. Statistics reported by a Hack Group study revealed that less than 10% of finance executives agree that the savings are real, and nearly 66% don't believe in the savings at all. In a typical situation, executives discount the claimed savings by procurement by about 30%, especially in cases where procurement is claiming cost avoidance or savings. With its credibility a challenge, it's difficult for procurement to be viewed as a major contributor to financial performance, or for procurement decisions to be viewed as strategic in nature. So why is it important that procurement focus on more than just cost savings? Because in a typical project, a high degree of cost is spent on abnormal wastage that is not directly attributable to simple cost reduction or controlled through standard agreements and contracts. Much of the wastage is due to issues of scheduling, quality, and lost productivity. So why is this the case? Well, in many organizations, project management and procurement are interconnected, but they're separated by organizational or discipline-based silos. Procurement is often solely measured only on cost reduction rather than on the ability to actually meet key project objectives such as quality or schedule. These can often be tied to project bonuses. Traditionally, information is shared by reports, workflows, and external information communication sources. This can often be due to disconnected or uncorrelated sources of information that come from different systems, different plans, or even different suppliers. The focus is on the process and moving transactions through the pipeline rather than on the effectiveness of decisions about materials, services, or suppliers that are the best choices for meeting project needs. The traditional approach focuses on managing inventory to address supply chain accuracy and to avoid schedule delays or productivity issues. But what if the focus was on driving supply chain based on information and the ability to effectively collaborate, and execute? In many cases, the most important priorities might be something other than price. Price alone does not ensure that acquisition plans and decisions derive the best overall value and that they drive down total project cost. Priorities might center on dates, quality, or other strategic decisions that address a project's specific or unique challenges. A project-driven supply chain can reduce planning cycle time, result in faster and better decision-making, provide a closed-loop planning and execution process so that intelligence from results can be used to improve ongoing and future decisions, and the information that's derived drives best-in-class processes, not the other way around. So due out soon is a new product in the Oracle Projects family that we call Project Supply Chain. PSC is a true collaboration and integration of projects, procurement, and purchasing. Based upon a central procurement plan that specifies the materials and services needed to complete project tasks and a required delivery schedule for those resources, PMs and buyers are always on the same page about what's needed to deliver the project successfully and deliver it on time with the right specifications and the right level of quality. Two role-based command centers, one for PMs and one for project buyers, provide access to the procurement plan information and status, so all of the traditional reports, workflows, notifications, and other offline communication is minimized. Users can see exactly what's needed, when it's needed, and whether it's been requisitioned, ordered, or delivered. The Command Center also provides direct access to purchasing documents, such as bid negotiations, awards, requisitions, agreements, and orders. Buyers and PMs can collaborate on plans by managing the status of the planned items and the services, and by associating agreements, suppliers or orders, and sources of supply. Buyers can initiate new negotiations using the new integrated document builder, which provides a shopping cart type experience to relate the items or materials they need with the suppliers that they want to invite to bid. Project managers can access detailed schedule information. They can initiate task updates to proactively plan schedule changes and address potential delivery delays. This powerful Endeca search and discovery capability allows users to apply both project and procurement related criteria to isolate potential problems. And the out-of-the-box integration with the EBS suite allows them to take immediate action right from the command center. In addition to the role-based command centers, two in-depth analysis portals, one for materials and services and the other for suppliers, provide access to both project managers and buyers to current and historical purchasing information. The portals allow users to analyze past performance of suppliers or their history of past purchases and apply multiple objective-driven criteria to find the best items or suppliers that match the needs of the project and their organization. Detailed and insightful charts, graphs, and metrics can also be used to highlight the current status of supplier performance against multiple measures, such as quality, on-time delivery, and price compliance. Access to the portals ensures that users are selecting the best materials, services, and suppliers, and gives quick access to see where the potential problems and where they are and where they might arise. The goal of collaborative planning is to build a plan that aligns actions to objectives and can be used to track execution and measure results. Collaborative planning can reduce the time spent on planning itself and can provide much better insight during the execution phase for projects. A collaborative planning solution decreases latency in decision making, and during project execution ensures everyone is on the same page and that their actions and decisions are aligned to the project objectives. Cost breakdown planning was introduced in Release 12.2 and will substantially improve your ability to track and report and control project costs by using a standard cost code structure. With this new feature, you define a standard structure, and the nodes in the structure represent cost codes, such as CSI codes used in engineering and construction. Then when you create assignments in your plan, you select a node in the hierarchy, which is represented as a cost code, together with a task to form your standard budget locations in your project financial plans. You'll be able to view the planned amounts summarized not only by task or resource, but also by the cost codes defined in your cost code structure. Then, as you capture and allocate project costs and report actuals against your plans, each transaction is associated to a cost code in addition to a project task and expense type. The transactions are mapped to your plan lines based on each of those attributes. So once summarized, you'll be able to view plan results using the same cost code hierarchy that you used in your plan. This standard approach to planning and reporting by cost codes allows you to better estimate and benchmark cost performance across projects and enables you to integrate your plan information based on standard cost coding for billing and scheduling. When you plan by cost breakdown structure and add this new cost code dimension to your plans and actuals, we'll display and report project cost information in different combinations of tasks, cost codes, and resources. This allows you to gain the necessary insight to your project's cost performance at the right level of detail and with sufficient descriptions of the cost to identify risks and implement more effective controls. Our focus on efficient and streamlined performance has also led to improvements in our work plan management feature. First, we've implemented new pages, and we've also redesigned some existing pages to make viewing and updating project information easier and faster. From our new Endeca extension work plan overview page, you can access plan tasks in several new pages designed to make it much faster and easier to make updates. You can use a multiple task update page to make mass changes across multiple tasks, or to enter progress or other information for multiple tasks at the same time. We've also been working to better tune the performance of simple updates initiated from a page, such as adding or moving tasks, or using public APIs to perform those activities, specifically to address the trend for larger and more complex work plans that have a lot of tasks. We've been able to substantially improve these activities by streamlining the underlying procedures, in some cases as much as 2,000% or more improvement. Even updates to plans with very large numbers of tasks performs much quicker, and page viewing is much faster with these new changes. In addition to these performance improvements, we've also made it easier for you to access descriptive flex field values from the summary pages for those situations where you use flex fields to store some additional information for a work plan task. Rather than the standard page flow to open and scroll to the bottom of a detailed task page, you can access the descriptive flex field details from an icon right in the overview summary page. Our out-of-the-box integration with Microsoft Project allows you to download your work plan structure from Project Management in Oracle to Microsoft Project to do scheduling and work plan maintenance activities, and then upload the updated work plan back to Project Management. Improvements in the integration now supports all types of project structures, including fully shared, partially shared, split, or mapped structures. The split and mapped structures means that part of your plan is shared or mapped between the work plan and the financial plans, where when you use a fully shared structure, the task structure is completely shared between the work plan and the financial plans. We've also certified new combinations of operating systems with MSP versions, including MSP 2010 and Windows 7. Lastly, we recently published a comprehensive 3-part supplement to the user guide that provides detailed descriptions, recommendations, and troubleshooting tips on how to use and get the best value from the MSP integration feature with project management. Procurement for complex services often starts off from a request for a service, and this can originate from one of several sources. Project managers in charge of a construction project, for example, engineers in the field, or even an architect. If the service requests have high values and involve services that require longer lead times to be fulfilled, buying organizations can determine that fulfilling the request requires a sourcing and negotiation activity, and ultimately a contract because of the complex payment terms. The complex payment terms and progress payment schedule then become part of the contract, and both parties can sign off on it. The contract then becomes ready for execution. If there are provisions in the contract for advance funding, a supplier can request payment for these before work starts. The contractor now performs the work on the progress payment schedule and periodically reports progress and requests payment either in the form of a work confirmation or an invoice. These documents state the amount of work completed on different components of the progress payment schedule and usually need to be approved by designated individuals like an engineer, project manager, or architect on the client side before any payment can be released. Once the work confirmation is approved, the contract is updated with the progress made. If the work is accrued, this information is also updated on the project, which allows the project manager to view actuals and commitments for the specific portion of work along with the rest of the work against the project. If progress is reported by an invoice, the contract is updated with the progress billed when the invoice is matched in payables. If the work is not accrued, projects will pull the details from the accounted and validated invoice. Once an invoice is received or generated, the complex payment terms specified on the contract are used to calculate the payment due to the contractor. Previous financing payments, if any, can be recouped, and applicable retainage can be withheld before the payment is made. The third element of our strategy is integrated execution. And integrated execution comes from everyone having access to and awareness of how well results are matching to the plan. A shared, measurable plan unifies decisions and actions so everyone is accountable to deliver the results. To better support organizations or industries with a high degree of project subcontracting, we now have several features designed to improve control over supplier invoices and payments. From our new supplier payment dashboard, you have a snapshot view of your cash flow for a project. You can view open receivable invoices due from your customers alongside a view of your pending supplier payments from Oracle Payables. Hyperlinked fields provide drill-down access to invoice details where you can see invoice balances and payment amounts. From this dashboard, you can also manage manual or automatic payable invoice holds and update and manage purchase order contract deliverables. You can also use the supplier deductions to ensure you're collecting or withholding funds from suppliers for miscellaneous expenses that they owe you or for chargebacks related to a project change order. Once approved, deductions are automatically processed and sent to Oracle Payables. Our change control process has undergone some significant improvements in order to provide more support for project financial changes. We now provide new control type options that allow you to plan for financial impacts by estimating the changes to cost and revenue transactions rather than just entering amount for the budget line. Using this new change planning option, there are two separate areas in the change document where you enter changes to planned transactions in the change document page based on whether you plan to change your direct costs or your subcontractor supplier related costs. In the supplier cost section, you can also map the change to a specific purchase order and maintain a history of any supplier quote amounts as a way to manage the negotiation process. You can also enable a section where you estimate revenue impacts associated with changes in planned cost. These detailed planning changes and estimates are then summarized and mapped to your planned budget lines so you can see the overall financial impact on your approved budget before you submit a change request or a change order for approving and including that in your budgets. Additional enhancements to change documents let you configure and also streamline your overall change control process. You can now create new tasks from the change order itself to facilitate the entry of proposed impacts. The new task can be used for planning, but it must be approved using the seated approval workflow before those tasks become chargeable or billable. Other new features such as versioning, version locking, an update audit history, and a new PCO or potential change order report that allows you to route a document to your project customer for approval. All of these make the process of using change controls much simpler, easier, faster, and more fail-safe. We've improved our forecasting process by providing two new forecasting methods. These new methods give you more options for generating periodic forecast amounts. The first method allows you to generate financial forecasts based on a fiscal calendar, such as a 5-5-4 calendar, rather than applying a spread curve. Based on the fiscal calendar you define in General Ledger, the same calendar periods will be used to calculate the periodic amounts for your forecast. When you generate the plan, the number of days in the fiscal period as a percentage of the number of days for a resource assignment and the duration of the resource assignment is used to determine the resource cost for the planning period. The other new method allows you to simply copy the amounts for future periods from an existing plan or a plan version rather than respreading remaining planned amounts. This method is typically used by organizations that do not carry forward planned amounts from previous periods into future periods. Once the amounts are copied from the source plan, you can manually modify the spread amounts as necessary. And lastly, in addition to the new forecast methods, we've also improved the usability of the page with the addition of new pop-up windows and view panels. These pop-up boxes provide line-level details without having to navigate away from the page or avoiding horizontal scrolling by including those detailed columns in the main page. Simply hovering over the key fields displays all the details of the plan line without having to navigate into a separate detailed page or scroll far to the right or far to the left. This is one of many user interface enhancements we've either implemented or are planning to implement. We're also seeing a significant growth in the size and complexity of the types of projects being managed with project management. As the projects and portfolios have grown, we are keeping pace by improving data processing controls available in our project reporting programs. Project management uses a series of automated programs to prepare your project plan information, including actuals, and summarize that data for reporting. We've implemented new data processing control options in these programs that allow you to determine the type of data you want to process, like types of currencies, periods, or etc., or even by the status of the plan type, such as only current plans or baseline plans, or an initial load of the data. You can even use the new options to delete unused historical plan versions for processing. Also, we now offer a new program that prepares the project plan data for summarization. The program performs a series of pre-processing validations that ensure the data has integrity during the run, and then batches the data for more efficient processing before launching the core summarization and update process. In addition to the new enhancements, we've also published a new troubleshooting technical guide that explains the steps of all the programs, the technical infrastructure, and how the data moves from one area to the other, such as from the staging and processing tables, for easier detection of potential setup-related problems. Another enhanced feature we're working on is capturing physical progress against your financial plans directly. By capturing progress directly on the financial plans rather than capturing it on the work plan and then applying it to the budget or the forecast, you can easily see and more rapidly capture progress and calculate and summarize earned value and other measurements needed for visibility into performance. The ability to track physical progress for a financial plan over time will be provided for each financial task. For each as-of date that you report physical progress, you'll be able to capture completed work for each task in your plan. Then, when you generate a new forecast, you'll be able to select the desired as-of physical progress date, and then based on that, the tasks associated to your budget lines will map to those values. You can use the new ETC methods that we'll provide to generate a forecasted cost. We are working very closely with the P6 team from Primavera on the scheduling integration. We're working to make the integration more performant by getting better at what we interface between the applications and the frequency at which we require the interfacing, as well as providing support for additional mappings to what is seeded. We are also doing something perhaps even more important, and that's providing the best practice on how to use the interface. So not only should you look for an improved integration with P6, but the best practices to go with it. The best practices will outline the best business process and related configuration to make you successful. Finally, we want to provide you with the best possible user experience that we can. So we've expanded our efforts to improve usability to make it easier to implement the tools you need to manage and control your project successfully. So next, we're focusing on bringing information to your teams wherever they are located, especially for projects managed from the field. Projects managed from mobile locations have unique challenges. Resources are often geographically dispersed, and work locations can be difficult to control. Communication and coordination can be difficult and often costly to maintain, but project deliverables must be completed and controls must be in place. Managers and teams need the ability to capture ongoing information that affects project plans and performance reporting. Waiting for access can cause delays and cause issues with coordination and scheduling. Our new mobile applications are intended to help your managers and teams stay connected and have access to project plans and results wherever they're located. Using the new mobile apps for project management and issue tracking, you can reduce time and effort by having mobile entry methods. You're provided with real-time visibility to project information and status to support faster decisions and reduce the time spent resolving issues. And you lower your infrastructure costs and TCO using a mobile network right from your single EBS solution. Our continued efforts to improve usability are intended to provide a more modern experience like web-based applications that users are more familiar with, to simplify user interfaces to improve the experience for mobile access, to provide faster and easier ways to find information, and more efficient with less navigation and menu switching. The enhancements will include using fewer screens to create new projects and the ability to easily view options copied from templates and projects. You'll be able to copy additional options after you create the initial project. We want to make it easier to navigate between rows in financial plan tables, additional options for column sorting, and we want to adopt the new UI user interface options for table detachments. The enhancements will also include integration between Workplan and financial plan information into a standard new earned value metrics summary view. This will eliminate the need to navigate back and forth between multiple pages to find that financial snapshot that you need. As I've described, delivering successful projects in an uncertain economic environment with growing pressures on profitability and increased risk is becoming increasingly difficult. We believe that the future and existing features in Oracle Project Management are just the tools you need to make sure that your projects are successful. We believe that we have the capabilities now and even more so into the future to help you put in place the practices you need to have successful projects. So I'm going to show you a few customers and the results that they've had using the product. The results described here include the reduction of costs, the ability to meet project schedules, less time spent in planning and tracking, and the ability to optimize cash flow. These are just a few of the significant results our customers report after implementing project management. And the application is flexible and scalable. Our customers manage portfolios that include smaller, simpler projects as well as large-scale, complex projects with thousands of activities and multiple types of budgets. Here's a quote from one of our customers, SEW Infrastructure. SEW is a large engineering and construction management firm in India. SEW builds and manages large-scale infrastructure projects such as bridges, tunnels, and roads in some of the most formidable environments throughout India. Since implementing project management, SEW has experienced significant improvement in their forecasting and planning processes and can now provide end-to-end visibility through improved project reporting. Another customer, Doosan Heavy Industries and Construction, is one of our largest project management users. DHI builds large-scale industrial plants and facilities, such as nuclear plants and water desalination facilities. They also manufacture heavy industrial products, such as power generation equipment and shipbuilding and ironworks components. Since the company upgraded to release 12.1.2 over 2 years ago and started a rollout of new and integrated project management systems based on project management, they are now able to estimate the cost of projects and develop a budget in 1 day compared to 15 days before. They can also develop the financial plans necessary to take estimated costs and expected risks into account during their planning cycle. The results are convincing. Customers who invested in and implemented project management are more confident of their ability to control projects and are adding to their organization's bottom lines. So that concludes this presentation. Thank you for listening.